Class 11, Subject Accountancy, Chapter 2, Basic Accounting Terms, Lecture number 5. Hello students. Yesterday we learned some basic accounting terms. Today I shall add some more accounting terms that is to be understood by you. So let's start. First of all, sales. What do you mean by sales? The term sales is used for sale of only those goods in which the firm is dealing. So goods bought or produced for resale purposes. Sale means suppose we have purchased some goods and we are going to give it to somebody in exchange of money. That means sale. Fine. So the term is used for sale of only those goods in which the firm is dealing. Understood this line? If the firm has cloth business, definitely if it is selling clothes to another customer, to the customers, then it will be termed as sale. So the goods bought or produced for resale purposes is called as sales. Fine. So there is one point. The term sales is never used for sale of an asset. However, it includes revenue generated from services rendered to customers. Means the term sale is never used for sale of an asset. If there is asset in the business and we are selling it, then we cannot say that we use the term sales for it. However, it includes the revenue generated from services rendered to customers. So, a shopkeeper selling electronic items in a sale, but if he sells old furniture, it is not termed as sales. Understood this point? The term sales is never used for sale of an asset. However, it includes revenue generated from services rendered to customers. They are saying if the shopkeeper selling electronic item, fine, then it is a sale for him. But if he sells his old furniture, the old furniture of his building, fine, it is not termed as sale. Fine, understood this concept? So basically we can say that sales refers to the amount of goods sold that are already bought or manufactured by the business. Fine. So if the business is dealing in furniture, then it is selling furniture. Then the sale of the furniture is will be considered as sales. Otherwise, it will be considered as sale of an asset. Fine? Understood this point? This point is very important. See here, an electricity company providing electricity to customers in the area is a sale of service. Electricity company is providing electricity to customers. Then they are providing the service to the customers. In this case, it is a sale of service. Fine. In the case of furniture, I told you if the company is dealing in furniture and the sale of furniture will be considered as sale in that term. Otherwise, it will be a sale of an asset. So see, here is the point. If the goods are sold for cash, it is called cash sales. Whereas goods sold to customer on credit basis is called credit sale. अगर सामान कैश में बेचा गया है तो वो कैश सेल है, लेकिन अगर सामान उधार बेचा गया है, क्रेडिट पे बेचा गया है, इट मीन्स दैट इज क्रेडिट सेल. फाइन. Next one is sales return. What do you mean by sales returns? If the goods sold to a customer is returned by the buyer, it is called sales returns. We can say sales returns, another name is return inward. Purchase returns, another name is return outward. Sales return, another name is return inward. So keep it in your mind. So the goods may be returned by the customers due to variation in size, quality, etc. is called sales return. Fine. So in simple language we can say when sold goods are returned by the purchaser due to some reason, it is termed as sales return. Fine. Now another term is stock, or we can say inventory. Fine. What do you mean by stock or inventory? The term stock refers to include the value of goods remains unsold at the end of accounting year. Now what do you mean by accounting year? I told you from 1st April to 31st March. Fine. So in trading concern, it is included unsold goods at the end of the accounting year. In trading concern, the stock includes the unsold goods at the end of accounting year, and in case of manufacturing concern, it includes raw materials, partly manufactured goods and finished goods. Fine. So keep these points in your mind. The term stock refers to include the value of goods remains unsold at the end of accounting year. Fine. So basically we can say the value of goods lying unsold or unused at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year is called stock. In trading concern, it is like unsold goods at the end of the accounting year. In manufacturing concern, it includes raw material or semi-finished goods, semi-manufactured goods, partly manufactured goods and finished goods. The stock may be of two types. There are two types of stocks. Number one is opening stock. Number two, closing stock. You know, beta, stock is a current asset. That means under current asset there are two items, na, tangible and intangible. So stock is tangible or intangible? Stock is a tangible asset for the business. Fine. Under current asset category, it is included as a tangible asset of the business. So it is of two types, opening stock and closing stock. What do you mean by opening and closing stock? See, opening stock. It refers to the goods lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year. See, beginning of the accounting year. The stock or goods which are lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year is called opening stock. And closing stock, it refers to the amount of goods lying unsold with the business entity when? At the end of the accounting year. Fine. Keep these things in mind. When the goods are lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year, it is called opening stock. And when the goods are lying unsold at the end of the accounting year, it is termed as closing stock. Fine. So closing stock of this year becomes the opening stock of next accounting year. Fine. Next term is debtors. What do you mean by debtors? It's very important in accounting. Debtor, the person or a firm to whom the goods have been sold on credit. वो पर्सन या वो फर्म जिसको हमने गुड्स उधार बेचे हैं और सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड ऑन क्रेडिट, और सर्विसेज भी हमने उधार ही दी है, आर कॉल्ड डेटर्स. फाइन. Till they make the complete payment for the goods bought on credit by them, they will be called debtors. Means the person to whom goods have been sold on credit is called debtor. Fine. So debtor is a person to whom goods have been sold or services rendered on credit. So the amount due is known as debt and it is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Now our next term is bills receivable. What do you mean by bills receivable? A bill of exchange is written by the seller of goods on the buyer of goods, directing the buyer to pay the specified amount at a future date. They are saying if a bills of exchange is written by the seller of goods, the person who is selling goods to somebody, he is the seller. The person who is purchasing goods from somebody, he is the buyer. So if the seller is making one note, written note, that is called bills of exchange. He is making, for whom he is making? He is making for the buyer. Why? Because in that bill of exchange, it will be written that the buyer has to pay the specified amount at a future date. Fine. That is known as bills receivable. Fine. So if we are buying, suppose we are the customer of some company and we are buying some goods on credit, in that way, in that case, the seller is creating a bill of exchange. He will write the specified amount for which we have purchased goods from him. So in that case, bills receivable. Fine. Will be termed as bills receivable. How? Let's see. So basically you have to keep in mind that bills of exchange is written by the seller of goods. Who writes bills of exchange? The seller of the goods. For whom? On the buyer of the goods. What is to be written over there? That the buyer has to pay a specified amount at a future date. Fine. It will be mentioning there. So bills of exchange becomes bills receivable for the seller of the goods after getting the acceptance from the buyer. The bills of exchange becomes bills receivable when? For the seller of the goods after getting acceptance from the buyer. If the seller has prepared bill of exchange and the buyer is agreed to pay the specified amount written on that bills of exchange, in that way it will be bills receivable for the seller of the goods. Fine. After getting acceptance from the buyer, and if buyer has signed on the bills of exchange, then it will be treated as an acceptance from the side of buyer. Fine. From buyer's side. So it becomes bills receivable for the seller and getting the acceptance from the buyer. Fine. Bills of exchange, when become bills receivable for the seller is called in that case drawer, and the buyer is called in that case drawee. Fine. Seller will be the drawer and buyer will be the drawee in that case. Fine. So understood the bills of exchange? So bills of exchange is both bills receivable and bills payable. For the seller of the goods, it is bills receivable, and for the buyer of the goods, it is bills payable. Fine. But they have to get acceptance from the buyer. If the seller has written the particular amount on the bill for the buyer, fine, on which he has purchased goods on credit from the seller, then if the buyer accepted that he is ready to pay the amount on the specified date decided by the seller, in that case the bills of exchange becomes bills receivable. Fine. But after getting the acceptance from the buyer. Fine, beta. So all these things you have to take consideration in your mind, that you need to understand first of all bills of exchange, then you will be getting to know about bills receivables and bills payable. Today we have discussed about the type of stock, opening stock and closing stock. Let's revise that. Opening stock is that goods are lying unsold at the beginning of the accounting year, and closing stock means goods are lying unsold at the end of the accounting year. Bills receivable we know. Debtors means the person to whom goods have been sold on credit. Fine. Sales, if we are doing the goods of the business of some particular goods, and if we are selling it, then it will be termed as sales. And if the customer is returning the sold goods to us, then it will be termed as sales return. Fine. So tomorrow we will study about creditors, because creditors are differ from debtors. Fine. Creditors, bills receivable, we have already read. Bills payable we shall read. Bills payable, and the term about discount. All of us know about discount. So your today's homework is you have to learn all these terms. Whatever was there in today's lecture means stock, types of stock, debtors, bills receivables, and bills of exchange. Fine. And one more thing, note it down in your notebook as well, side by side.